You wake up, stand up, and that same dull pull in your lower back is already there. You rested, stretched, maybe even stopped training, but your back still isn't fixed. Here's the truth. Your spine isn't just slow to heal. It is one of the worst healing structures in your body. And once you understand why, everything about your recovery changes. You're not weak or broken. You're dealing with a structure that gets almost no blood flow, is loaded all day, and is constantly irritated by tiny, uncontrolled movements. In this video, you'll learn why your back feels stuck, what actually blocks healing, and how to finally give it a real chance to recover. Let's check the myth. If it still hurts after a few weeks, something must be seriously wrong. Not true. Pain can drop quickly. But the tissue of the outer disc layer can take hundreds of days to remodel, and often heals weaker than before. And even worse, you can have disc damage and feel nothing at all. If your load and stability are under control. Reality check. It's not just the injury. It's the injury plus your biology plus how you move every single day. Step 1. Your spine is undersupplied. If you skip this, you will never understand why your back recovers slower than every other muscle you train. Your leg muscles heal pretty fast because they are full of blood vessels. Fresh blood brings oxygen, nutrients, and cells that repair tissue. Your discs between the vertebrae are different. They are almost completely without direct blood supply and depend on diffusion from tiny vessels at the edges and end plates. Think of it like this. Your muscles get food delivered by highway. Your discs get food delivered on a slow walking path. That means every healing process in the disc is limited from the start. Less nutrients in. Metabolic waste out more slowly. Here is the problem. Research shows that even when your pain from a disc injury drops after 6 to 12 weeks, the disc itself can need roughly 300 to 500 days to remodel. And because the outer disc is made of ligament-like tissue, it often only regains around 60 to 90% of its original strength. How close you get to 60% or 90% recovery comes down to two things: your pre-injury condition and how you handle the healing process. So when you feel better after 2 months and jump straight back into old patterns, you are loading tissue that is still midway through a year-long repair project. That changes how you see recovery time. Step 2. Your spine never really rests. You might notice something else. You can rest a knee. You can rest a shoulder, but you never truly rest your spine. Even now, sitting or standing, your spine is under load. Gravity is always there. Standing upright is your baseline. Your spine is under 100% of its normal load. Walking, slightly higher, around 110 to 120% with every step. Sitting relaxed already jumps to around 140%. And once you slump or sit flexed, that load can climb dramatically, in extreme cases even approaching 250 to 300%. Only when you lie on your back does it really drop, often to around 25 to 30%. Same body, completely different stress. So it's not just what you do in the gym, it's how you sit, stand, and move all day that decides whether your spine gets a break or keeps getting irritated. Other tissues often get clear off time. Your spine gets micro-stress 24/7. Here is the mistake. Most people think, I stopped deadlifting so my back is resting. But if you still sit slouched for hours or bend with a rounded back 50 times a day, your discs are still constantly irritated. The big lifts are not the only load that counts. One golden nugget from spine research is this: even small daily changes in how you sit and bend can reduce disc pressure and help the tissue breathe better through diffusion. Your spine does not need zero load. It needs the right kind of load at the right time, with enough calm phases for the tissue to catch up. Step 3, micro movements that never let it settle. Many people run into this next one without knowing it. Your spine is designed to move, but it is not designed to wobble. When the muscles around your spine do not stabilize well enough, the vertebrae do not just move smoothly. They micro-move, tiny, uncontrolled translations with subtle glides and shifts between segments. You do not feel each one as a sharp pain, but your discs, ligaments, and small joints feel every single repetition. Over time, these micro-movements irritate the joints and nerves, trigger inflammation, and keep switching your pain on again. That is why instability is so strongly connected with chronic back pain. Think of pushing on a paper clip just a little bit. One time is nothing, thousands of times, and the metal finally snaps. Here is the useful insight. The goal is not to make your spine completely stiff forever. The goal is to build enough stability and motor control so the movement is smooth and shared across the hips and spine, not dumped into one angry segment. Step 4. Disc structure and absurdly long timelines. Now let's talk structure. Your disc is not a solid block. It is a pressurized gel in the middle, surrounded by layered collagen fibers arranged in rings like an onion or car tire. When these outer fibers tear or delaminate, they do not regrow like muscle. They remodel, slowly, with scar-like tissue and altered fiber direction. Golden nugget. Some clinical and biomechanical sources point to healing windows of roughly 1 to 1.5 years for a disc to fully remodel after injury. So if you expect your back to be good as new after 6 weeks of rest, you are not just optimistic. You are fighting biology. And here's the twist. Pain can drop early, but the structure is still vulnerable. That's why people say, "It was finally fine," until I sneezed, picking up a sock. You did not break overnight. You just hit a tissue that was still in long-term remodeling with a load spike it was not ready for. Step 5. Your nervous system keeps adding fuel. You might notice this on bad days. Your back feels tighter. You move slower. Your whole body feels on guard. Pain is not just what's happening in the tissue. Pain is also your nervous system deciding how dangerous a movement feels. If your brain tags bending or twisting as threat, it turns up protective tension. Muscles around your spine stay braced and overreactive. Your movement becomes choppy and guarded. This does 2 things. It increases compressive load on the joints and discs, and it keeps your brain focused on every tiny signal from that area. So even when the tissue starts to calm, your nervous system can still behave like the fire is raging. That is why stress, poor sleep, and fear of movement are so tightly linked with persistent back pain in the research. Here's the key insight. Your rehab is not just a disc problem. It is a spine plus nervous system problem. You need better load management, better stability, and also a calmer, more confident movement pattern. Step 6. Why random exercises fail you. Now it gets interesting. If your spine is undersupplied, constantly loaded, slightly unstable, and controlled by a nervous system on high alert, what happens when you just do random back exercises you saw online? The result? You feel good for a day. Then the same pain returns, so you think, my back just doesn't heal. You might pick movements that keep irritating the injured structure. You might crank rotation into a segment that is already unstable. In reality, your spine never gets a clean window to repair. The biology is slow. The load is chaotic. The stability is patchy. One more golden nugget. Reviews on disc nutrition show that consistent moderate loading with neutral alignment helps maintain diffusion and cell health, while extreme or prolonged compression and flexion push the environment toward degeneration. So the way you move every day literally changes the chemistry of your disc over time. That is why your program has to be structured. Less random, more specific. matched to your triggers, your tolerance, and your long healing timeline. Step 7. What real healing chance actually means. Here is the problem. When most people say, "I tried rehab," what they really did was 6 weeks of exercises. That is shorter than the true biological healing window of the disc. Giving your spine a real chance to heal means 3 things. First, you reduce unnecessary load. That means fewer careless flexion and twist moments into the pain area. More neutral spine in daily tasks. Smart use of your hips instead of your lower back. Second, you improve stability and control. Your goal is not to never move your spine again. Your goal is to stop those uncontrolled micro movements that keep rattling the same angry segment. Third, you respect the true timeline. You see your back as a long-term project. You keep calm. You keep consistent. You stay ahead of the biology instead of chasing pain spikes. Here is the shift. Your spine is not refusing to heal. It is trying to heal inside a system that is undersupplied, constantly stressed, slightly unstable, and neurologically overprotective, on a timeline most people never take seriously. Once you line those pieces up, your back finally experiences something it almost never gets: a real window to recover. Your one big takeaway. If you remember only one thing from this video, let it be this. Your back is not slow. It is complex. Give it less random stress. Give it more smart stability, and give it enough time to do the slow work your discs are built for. Start by paying attention to how your spine is loaded in the small moments of your day. That is where most people lose. Plays with a healing battle without noticing. What is the one movement in your day that always pokes your back again? Call it out for yourself. Your spine will not heal perfectly, but it can become a lot more reliable than it feels right now if you finally start working with its biology instead of against it. Thank you for watching.